So when you see a vintage card with a lot of wrinkles and stuff, you know, and if you watch my channel, you think, all right, soak it, soak it. You could, but I also want to give you other opportunities and like other things to look for. So like these, if you guys have ever had a 63 tops, it's probably like the thinnest card ever. And this one, and here's the thing, it's screwed up, you know. I just want it to be authenticated or in a, you know, just I want it to look better because like it has potential, but I would call it wrinkled, but it's almost like the paint has an issue. It is wrinkled, but it's just like, and look at the back. If you guys are familiar with this card, it's supposed to be very bright yellow. This thing is a survivor, and it looks like it probably got sat face down with the sun baking on it for years too. So here's the thing. Sure, you could soak it, but that'd be like a total soak. You can kind of do a semi-soak as well, you guys. So what I want to do is if I can just get this card wet, I don't need to soak it for 20 minutes. It doesn't really look dirty at all. It just looks like it's been soaked for a long time unintentionally. So it's not really dirty, but I want to get this card flat and I want to get the wrinkles out. So let me show you something. We're going to do this. So I'm just going to use, here, I'll use my little card spray bottle. It's easier for this. Just going to get the back. Okay, it's wet, but not totally soaked, you know what I mean? But I mean, it's different than soaking a card is what I'm trying to say. So we'll do that and we're gonna sandwich it because I don't want this card to move around on me. Okay, and then we're gonna flip it over. And I wanna hold it like this, and I'm gonna do the same thing to the front. Let's get it. Okay, and we're gonna hide it. Kind of like a sloppy process, right? You're probably like, oh, I'm used to, I want to see something a little bit more graceful. But here's the thing. I got it between the pads and the plates. Now I am going to lock it in there with my clips. And I'm going to let this, you know, rest and dry out. But here's the thing. Even though the cold card's going to be saturated, it's not going to be, when you do this technique, it doesn't take 4 days to dry. And if you are a vintage person that loves working on vintage stuff like that, and the card's not super dirty, you don't have to use half a bottle of card spray, you know? So that'd be like a medium soak. So I'm just gonna let it sit and rest because that card needs to soak in. We trapped all the moisture in there. It's gonna soak it in, and hopefully it's gonna flatten that thing out. And we just used like 4 sprays instead of like 2 ounces, you know what I mean? So I'm just gonna let this one rest, and I'm gonna open it up in probably 40 minutes just to look at it and make sure it's like looks cool, and I'll turn on the video then. All right, let's check it out. So it's been, I have to admit, I forgot about it. So I was doing stuff for about an hour and a half, but it's no worries. There's no problem. I could just leave it like this for as long as I want. But if you're keeping track, it's been about an hour and a half, all right? So I want that to be important. And then, now the reason, real quick, I didn't soak the whole card, which I could. It's fine, I could. But like I said, sometimes you can do a semi-soak, we'll call it, where I just want the wrinkles to go away. The card front was really weird, and it's a super duper thin card, and it was all wonky and wobbly. I knew if I could just like get it wet and set it and let it just come back together, I think it was gonna work. You know, that's really the end goal here, right? So I don't think we're there yet, but I think that we should be able to see how we're doing. So, all right, so much better looking. I know before this edit, it looks pretty sloppy, but look, it's pretty good. See, look at that edge. It's the worst up at the top. Let's see how we're doing up there. All right, so there's the permanent stuff. You can see the white, right? So that's not coming back, but I want it to look smooth. Not bad. So we're gonna keep going. But look at that, isn't that cool? It's kind of like the semi-soak. And then this card's real thin. I don't suggest picking it up, but for the sake of video, let's just pick it up. So this was the one that didn't have much color left on the back, but I want to show you the back looks good too. It's okay. So since we got it open, I'm gonna let this sit all night, and it's definitely wet, but it's not like soaking in a plate of card spray for 20 minutes wet. It's just a little bit different. So give it a try if your situation fits this scenario. And I am gonna just reapply the top since we're gonna hold it all night. It's nighttime here. We're during the time I'm doing this, so this is my last treatment of the day. All right, and I'm gonna grab some mats, some new mats. So I'm just gonna put some dry ones on here, and to make that clean as possible, since I said I don't want to touch it a lot, and I just put card spray on it, we'll put one up front, flip it, take the wet one off, put a dry one on and close it up. Third installment coming tomorrow. I will show you what it looks like. So it should be looking good and it should be dry. Stay tuned. Let's pick it up. Installment number 3 and the final installment here from the semi-soak. We did, this whole project was about, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 7 sprays. Seven sprays, right? So I explained it already of why I only did that, because I was watching my other edits before I'm doing this one, so I won't repeat myself. So let's just get to it. But this is the semi-soak, the 6 sprays. And let's take a look and see how we did. And this is a day and a half later. Hey, look at that. Isn't that cool as hell? Look at that edge, you guys. How nasty that was. The worst part was up here, and I mean, that's the missing paint. That's what you're seeing. So when you see a little bit of noise when the light hits it, it's the missing paint. Check out the corners, man. And just the whole front looks fantastic. And the card, I believe, is totally dry now. Let's take a look. Yep, it's dry. Back, missing a lot of color. You know, it used to be like that color right there in the corner, but you know, I got to pick this card up and I was like, it's an awesome project card. And look at, nice and flat, looks good. So that's the semi-soak. So remember, if your card's not super duper dirty, but it just has like a little bit of top issues or finish issues, and you just need, you know that it needs a little bit of help from card spray and moisture to get it in shape, give it a shot. As always, try on a few base cards first. That's your homework. I'm Kurt with Kurt's Card Care.